your book, you talk about the growth pyramid. And you say it's divided into 5 different levels or pillars. How exactly does it work? What is it exactly, the pyramid thing in the 5 levels?
Yeah, so it comes back to that question of how would you feel if you could no longer use this product?
Okay.
That question, if you don't have people who would be very disappointed without the product, if no one considers the product a must-have, growth hacking is not going to work. Okay. And so the starting point is get enough people to consider the product a must-have, and so that's at the foundation of the pyramid, and then you build from there. So kind of a simpler pyramid that I started with is really on the foundational level, it's product market fit. So that product market fit essentially means it's a must-have for a reasonably sized market, and then the next level of the pyramid was, okay, now I need to figure out why it's a must-have. I need to get that onboarding fixed. I need to put the analytics in place. I need to have a business model. So I call that the transition to growth stage, where if you just have product market fit and now you just go out and try to grow, but you don't actually have an efficient way of getting people to experience the product the right way, and you haven't made the investment in the analytics, you're not going to be very good. So it's getting to product market fit can take a long time. That next step of transitioning to growth, you want to do as fast as you can. You're just trying to get those pieces in place. And then long term, you're trying to scale the business. So what I did in the 5-step pyramid is essentially broke that transition to growth stage into smaller pieces.
Okay. And I think in my life, I made a lot more mistakes than I got it right in my life. But I think only one good point can make you like succeed. Yeah. You don't need to succeed every time, but one good goal is what you need. But when we're talking about mistakes, what kind of mistakes we can avoid, and what are the main mistakes companies usually make when they're trying to make a good growth machine?
Yeah, so the biggest one that actually studies have shown, there's a study called the Startup Genome Project that studied a lot of startup failure, showed that the number one mistake is actually trying to grow before you have product market fit. So if you don't have a product that actually can retain users, so there's 2 ways you can measure product market fit. One is with that question that I said, where you have enough people who say it's a must-have, they'd be very disappointed without it. But the other is actually just studying the usage. If you have 100 people try the product and within 3 months, all 100 people stop using the product, it's a really bad sign. And so you can actually grow for a little while if you're churning people out, but eventually you're losing people faster than you're bringing them in. And so you're going to waste a lot of energy. So you need to be able to retain at least some people. So it's different. Like some products, like Instagram, about 50% of the people who start using it actually use it long-term. But a product like Calm, only 5% of the people who start using the product use it long-term, but at least 5% use it long-term. So the key is you can't go to the point where it goes to 0. If for every 100 people who try it, after enough time, 0 are still using it, that's a really bad sign. And that's for most products. There's obviously some like a dating site where if you help them find their husband or wife, then they're going to stop using the product. So you have to look at that differently. But for most products, if you want long-term retention on the product, then you have to study that. And so that's the number one thing that causes companies to fail. But I see companies all the time that then, so maybe they have that, and then they try to grow and they don't make the investment in analytics that actually helps them efficiently allocate, time and resources to trying to grow. And so maybe their product market fit is so good that they can be really inefficient on how they spend money and still grow and feel good. But if they knew, there was an old saying, John Wanamaker, that was probably from like 50 or 100 years ago, that said, I know half of my money is wasted, I just don't know which half on advertising. Like in a digital world, we know which half, And so we stopped spending that half. But it's amazing the number of companies that actually don't invest in the analytics to have those insights when that was available to them. And so I think making sure that you have the good insights there, making sure that you truly understand that product market fit. We've talked about, like, when I understand why it's a must-have, I can very quickly move from 7% to 40% of users using it the right way so that they continue to use it long-term. But a lot of people are either, we talked about there's the creative and the analytical as kind of opposites. There's also I believe in numbers data, I believe in qualitative data, and usually it's like kind of two different camps, but the real power is when you bring the two of them together, and I see what people are doing and I know why they're doing it or not doing it. And so the better you understand the situation, the easier it is to drive improvement. And so but I would say the two biggest mistakes would be trying to grow without product market fit, and then trying to grow without truly understanding what's going on.
Okay, perfect. It's a very good insight.